Hello and welcome to this tutorial. It's going to be about the iridescent medium by Winsor & Newton, and I want to try it out. I've never been a big fan of iridescent looks in watercolours, to be honest, but I just want to try it out and see, what it looks like, because it's something completely new to me. So first of all, I've got some watercolour paper. This is a Tumu watercolour block. They're a little bit pricey, but that's what you get for 100% cotton. So I'm going to try this, first of all, just painting it sort of neat on the paper, and then I will dilute it down. One thing I would say though, as I go through this tutorial, is I've been careful to separate some watercolour paints out from my palette, because if I'm going to mix iridescent medium into them, I don't want to contaminate my wells. I want to keep my wells just pure transparent watercolour with no medium mixed into them. That's just my personal choice. So I've separated some out, and I'll try a range of colours, and then I can safely wash it all away and wash my brushes and everything and be free of the iridescence. So it says to give it a good shake, which I have. Press down. Okay, so if you can just see inside there, I'm going to tip a little bit into the corner. Oop, that's quite a lot. And then it does say to wipe the neck of the bottle, so I'm going to do that straight away, obviously, because a build-up of that would probably maybe solidify, congeal, and make getting the bottle top off very hard. So I think I've got a lot of medium there, but let's try it out. So I've got my brush. I'm going to pick up, let me zoom in a little bit more for you. I'm going to pick up some medium. It's got a sort of gluey texture to it. I must apologise. I'll have to stop there because my brush is still full of red paint, so let's get rid of that. So by the way, if you like more slow-paced art ideas like this, you can join my seasonal art sanctuary newsletter via the link in the description, and I'll send you my free digital guide. It's called 5 Gentle Studio Resets. Okay, back with a clean brush now. So I've got a little bit of moisture on the brush. And as I was saying, it's got quite a gluey feel to it. So I've just painted some on there. Let's see if I can pick up. Yeah, there we are. It's got quite a nice iridescence to it. So that's it, neat, with just a little bit of water to be able to get it onto the brush and paint that. I'm going to try mixing it now with some of my colours. So I'm going to rinse my brush again. This time I'm going to pick up some blue. And mix some iridescent medium with it. I'm using enough pigment to give the medium something to work with. And again, it's very faint, but can you see that? It might look different when it dries, and we will look at that. But the first swatch I did of just the neat iridescent medium looks really nice. We'll see how this one dries. Let's do a different colour. Let's do a much darker colour. I'm going to pick up some of this alizarin crimson. Oh, sorry, this is brilliant purple. This is a schminker colour. This is absolutely gorgeous colour. Let's pull in some of the medium with that. Whew. Look at that go together. I'm going to mix it in really well because I want it to have an even consistency and see what it looks like when it dries. So again, this is, oh yeah, I mean, it definitely changes the feel of the paint. You know, this doesn't feel like watercolour anymore. This has become a sort of soupy, goopy, viscous type texture. And again, you can see the viscous, you can see the pearlescence there. Maybe I should have done that paint last, because look how it's coloured my paint, my water. Now I've got pink water. I've got a second jug, so that's okay. Let's pick up a very dark moon glow. This is. So if anybody is a fan of Daniel Smith, moon glow is a mix of green, dark blue and dark red. Scoop up some of that iridescent medium there. I'm trying not to contaminate it with the other colours that I've already mixed with it, to give it a fair chance to do its thing. Yep, and again. See the shine? The shine is partly because it's wet and partly because it's got iridescent medium in it. The truth will be when these are dry. So I'm going to paint another one. Let's try the green. This is Green Gold by Daniel Smith. I love this colour. So it's a happy green. Trying to scoop up some of the medium. I think that the most difficult thing is how you're going to get the medium and the paint together, you know, while, if you want to use it for other colours, while not mixing other colours through it as well. You might just have to get a little pipette and squeeze some of the medium into each blob of your paint. That might be a way around it. Mixing it all through. That would keep it very clean and make sure the iridescence would show for each single colour that you're using. Let's try some yellow. Now I'm going to be stuck here, so if I go into that mixture, I'm going to be picking up the green. So I'll put a second deposit of this medium in the bottom corner of my palette. Try and pour a bit less, although you can see how far it went. That blob, you sort of can gauge it. That blob did about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, passages of about 1 inch and a bit. So that gives you an idea of coverage. Okay, so this is the yellow. Let's pick up some yellow there. Yes, I think I'd definitely be putting this into a little glass pipette jar, or using a pipette and suck some up in a little tube, a little sort of syringe, however you want to work it. But these are the sort of mechanics you need to work out before you use it fully, I expect, just to work out how you're going to apply it, how clean you want to be with it. So there's some yellow. Yes, it's a faint sheen. It's very subtle. It's definitely not glitter like. It's tiny little mica specks even, not even flecks. So what have I got left? So I've got raw sienna now. I picked raw sienna because it's such a popular colour. It's well used by everybody's particular beginner painters. Raw sienna's got, it's a lovely, clear, transparent earth tone. So there's some raw sienna, and let's pick up. I'm going to go for a much richer application of the iridescent medium for this one. Just give you an idea of what it's like when you really dose it up with this stuff. See if it has any stronger effect than the others, where I didn't add so much. I just added a little bit. Again, it's not an exact science. You've just got to play with this to get it to your taste. I suppose it's like adding sugar to a beverage. That's it, if you even use sugar, to suit your taste and the effect you want to have. Right, still wet now. Okay, I'm going to let these dry and come back to you and tell you how they're looking. Okay, these are dry now, and something really odd has happened. Remember this one where I really loaded up a lot more of the iridescent medium? Well, that's got practically no shine in it at all. I don't know why that's happened. But let's look at the first. Let's look at the first one. So the blue, that's right nice. Then the purple, it's got some sheen in there. Very subtle with the green, not so powerful with the green. The yellow you can see is just picking up some sheen there, and moon glow a little bit. So what I'd like to do now is, to be honest, at the moment I'm sort of a bit underwhelmed. I thought if I loaded up a stronger dose of the iridescent medium it would have been shinier, but in fact there's actually no shine there at all, and I am using, you know, top quality artist professional watercolour paint. So I'm surprised at that, to be honest. So far I like it neat from the pot the best on just plain paper. Well, that's okay if you want to paint snow. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is try it on a much darker background. A few months back I painted some in my lovely Fabriano sketchbook. I decided, right, if I paint some pages different colours, it'd be nice to just sketch on in pencil or white pen or something, just as a bit of a play thing. So what I'd like to do now is just try this with the iridescent medium. I've got a big brush so I can apply it sort of quickly and across in strokes, and let's see what this does. So I'm just going to get some water squidged into the palette there and pick up. Ooh, it's like quicksilver. It is really mercurial. And try and mix it well so that it's evenly spread through the hairs of my brush. Maybe I want a stronger amount, a deeper amount, I don't know. Experimentation. As you can see, my brush is looking very shiny. Let's see what happens now. It may well activate the pigment underneath, although to be honest it may not, because yeah, this was acrylic gouache, so to be honest I'm not even sure if this will actually adhere to it. It may not, because this is watercolour iridescent medium. It might not like the acrylic gouache surface. Well, we'll leave it to one side and see what happens. And luckily, one I prepared earlier, I've got an actual watercolour of a dolphin. Let's do this one. I'm going to just brush the iridescent medium all over this. I want to do minimal strokes really, because this may well activate because it is a watercolour. So quickly, and not too many strokes, up and down, just to get a nice deposit of the medium on the surface. Okay, you can see a lot of sheen on that. Yes, that's looking very pearlescent. Okay, I'm going to let this dry now and report back in a little while. Okay, everything's dried now, so let's have a look at the dolphin. And as you can see, it depends on how I catch it in the light. There's some really lovely pearlescence, especially down in the water there, and you can see tiny little flecks all over the painting. So that's come out quite nicely. Again, it really does depend where you are and how the light is hitting it for you to get the best effects. And remember what I said about this paper maybe not sort of gelling because it was watercolour on top of acrylic gouache. Yes, I was right, it hadn't sunk in at all, so I just took a piece of tissue paper, wiped it off, but it's left this lovely residual sheen. So that's come out really quite nicely. I quite like that. And then I hair dried it on the back and on the front, and now I could come along with a pencil or an opaque marker and do some doodles. Just a nice different ground with which to explore art with. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. I hope it's helped seeing, you know, the acrylic, seeing the iridescent medium in action. As I say, it's got quite a foamy, gloopy, that's the best word, gluey, foamy texture. And depending on what colours you use, you may need more or less. You can use it neat from the pot or watered down. You can paint it over a finished watercolour painting, or you can mix it right in to your paints. But as I say, my final sort of caveat would be have a sort of separate kit, you know, for the iridescent paints. Maybe keep a couple of paintbrushes only for this purpose, because no matter how well you rinse them, I bet they'll still be, yeah, I can see them shining even now. Even though I've rinsed them really well, those tiny little bits of iridescence are going to be in there. And definitely keep the paint out of your main palette if you don't want any iridescent effects to be in your main palette. Okay, thanks for watching. I'm Alison, the Pottering Artist, and if you would like to subscribe to my channel, you'll get alerts when a new video comes up. All you've got to do is click the red square at the bottom of the screen now, and then you'll be prompted with different coloured bells. If you click the grey bell or the darkest bell, that means you'll get an alert when I put a new video up. The other bells don't do it. So I thank you for your subscription and for, you know, supporting this channel. So I hope you enjoy your painting. Bye for now.